Hey guys, Jen here. Just gonna do a quick video. Try to get not the sun in the middle of it, but I wanted to come on here real quick to explain what's been going on and what I've been enlightened to, I guess. So as you guys have known, I was in this long-term relationship with this guy for about 4 years, and then it started going downhill the last year and a half. What I've just come to realize was a lot of the manipulation tactics that he was using and doing things like that wasn't really of his higher self. And when I went to try to educate him on making better life choices and things like that, in a nice way, not like a condescending or anything like that way. Although as the years went on, it kind of ended up becoming more of a tit for tat, back and forth type of a thing, and I fell into it and I didn't even know. But so I found out more than likely the reason why he's doing this is because he's got probably at least one, if not more, negative entities attached to him. Alright, so first thing is he's got an addiction to alcohol. And that is one of the number one ins for these entities and these spirits to come in, and to change your personality. Okay, so I know a lot of this only because I lived through it with my parents, who were both addicted to alcohol. My mother did not fare very well, but my father ended up getting out of it and turned his life around. So there are two different dynamics there. My mom chose not to, and she got sucked into whatever the other drama was that she was around, and either maybe she was too scared to get out of the life she was, or maybe she was too far deep in or something, but then she ended up getting eventually murdered for something. I don't know what, but she was definitely murdered downtown Buffalo, and they made it look like it was her being drunk and walking around. My father, on the other hand, ended up leaving the relationship and doing that whole thing, and then met a woman, and he got his life changed around. She helped him get back on board and own his responsibility and not be addicted to alcohol and change his life around. So there are ways of getting out of it if you so choose, but the person has free will. Now, this is the other thing. I've been trying to help him out and, trying to help him wean himself off of this stuff for a long time, but I don't know if it's his own thought patterns or if he's lost his identity through this attachment that's been with him about thinking that this alcohol is going to help him sleep, and it's because he's got insomnia and stuff like that. So he's just like, he's always been sensitive, and this is where I think the problem lies, is because he is a sensitive, but for years he's had all these things happen to him. Now, going back and seeing all the patterns and things and all the death that's involved his family, I do think it's deeper than just immediate attachment to alcohol. I do think there's probably something that's attached to his family line, the bloodline. Granted, I have no idea what his parents or great-grandparents or any of that bloodline ended up doing way back when, or if they had enemies that were into crazy other stuff or whatever. But to be honest, some of the stuff I've witnessed with shit just going wrong is just really weird. Like, I've also said that I've never seen somebody go through so much crap and not have either a complete turnaround because you had to be forced out of detox and stuff like that, or forced into detox, or something completely different where you're just like, give up and you're done. The reason why he's hanging on, I think, still to a lot of this stuff is either one of two things, probably, or maybe even more, but what I'm privy to is, one, whatever's attached to him needs him to stay alive so they can siphon off the energy and continue living. Two, his light is still there. It's not fully light. You can't really, if you're on, you have that spark, the spark's not going to fully go out unless you pass from this earth. Okay, so that's just the soul spark, I call it. Excuse me. Allergies are kicking in. there's a lot of other weird things going on now too, and I've seen it, and I was having a hard time releasing this relationship because I kept going back and feeling sorry for him because I could see the higher self. Now normally if it's an actual, just a person who's a narcissist and is actually a negative entity in physical form, normally you won't get reeled back in, and they don't really necessarily show you the really good side. Like I could see his higher self. Now those other entities don't have a higher self because there's always like a fake higher self, and as an empath or something, you normally feel that something's off. But when I was seeing him in his higher light, like when he was away from that and he wasn't drinking and he actually had the water and the milk in the morning and he wasn't doing the sleepy pills or any of that other stuff, he was fine. I saw him in his higher self. Like a couple years back when we first started dating, he was also, I mean, he was just going through the death of his father. So he was in a bad spot. But then he got into the sports and he had friends and he was excited because he could still kind of cook, and he still had his leg, you know, his legs weren't that bad with the neuropathy or any of that. And he had a spark for life still. Now it's just he's been drained so much. And when I saw him, I had him over here a couple times, but when he was here, he was better. Granted, because there's no portal over here necessarily. There's a portal apparently in his house, so I've been told, where things can come in. And actually, to be honest, the environment over at the house, even if you don't believe in the spiritual sense, is bad because everybody in that house is addicted to some kind of substance one way or another. And they don't get themselves out. Most people that live there are not getting themselves out of the position they're in. Alright, I gotta go. My brother's here, but I'll talk to you guys later a little bit about this. Part 1. Woohoo!